a part of you. Think of all the things we could do. And every day you're in my head. I want to have you in my bed. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, DEFFINITY, DEVVE, daCat update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. I have a small little bet here with Jeremy Padower. Jeremy Padower said that Indiana is going to beat Miami by 30. He says it will not be close. 20 to 35 points win for University of Miami and the Natty. So I said, do you want to bet $10? And he said, you're on. I'll even go on the line. 7 points. So he's giving 7.5 points. So I'll take that. Let's go get this bread. I think I'm very confident. I do not believe that what he says is true, and I believe that that it is Indiana does not win by that much. Anyway, let's go through the rest of the. What do I title this? Collectors eat up VeVe supply. So I did briefly touch on this yesterday. Let's go to the. Also, today's Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Oh, I got to see how that. DEFFINITY was in Barcelona today. They're in Barcelona ice. No, not the ice that you all know, and Barcelona ice. I completely butchered that. It's called Ice Barcelona. Shaping the future of gaming. The place where world of gaming goes to business. Explore cutting edge innovations, latest product launches, regulatory updates, exclusive network opportunities, and the insights you need to grow your business on a global scale. 19 to 21 January. Oh, so it's the next couple of days. DEFFINITY's there, or either DEFFINITY or Bloomsbury Money. To be completely honest, I don't know which one the founders are. They founded both, so I don't think it really matters. Is DEFFINITY getting into gaming? Is Bloomsbury getting into gaming? I don't know. Either way, good for DEFFINITY for them to be there. I am not in Barcelona, obviously. I'm in my. Well, keeper saying, let's go. Ben in Korea, thanks for being a member, says, good day, Randy. 2026 is going to be the year. I feel it in my bones. Me too. Rocktool Payday says, let's get this bread. I love this game. What else we got here? Wire. Okay, I'm not. Oh, my God. This dude just took a goat. Dude just bought a goat in the club. Cute goat. You ever do goat yoga? Stuff's really fun. All right, anyway, let's go. Oh, Ironman616 reposting the stream. Anyway, I got to go to Mr. Squeebs. I know okay, it was yesterday, where he had said, and it's on the thumbnail, saying the circle keeps closing. Suddenly, supply doesn't disappear all at once. It gets absorbed quietly, and then at some point, there's no room left. You're either inside the circle or you're trying to buy your way back in. Price handles the rest. And my man's got 46 Amazing Fantasy 15s. What the? All right, let's take a look at how expensive an Amazing Fantasy 15. Secret rare, by the way. These aren't just commons, which are like $150. Let's do Amazing Fantasy 15 Secret Rare. And it is $32 million for one. I'm sorry, 32 million OMI for one. So that's $5,300. What did he say? He had 46 of them. That is almost $250,000 just in AF15 secret rares. I will repeat that. That is $250,000 just in AF15 secret rares. Great googly moogly. That is insane. And that's at the floor price. How many of them are? Oh, he's actually the floor. He's actually the floor because I guess he wants 32 million OMI. Where is the floor on? Okay, on VeVe it's $11,000. So yeah, that ain't happening. Now, I don't know if he's public about this, but he's got more OMI than me. He's got quite a lot, and I have 300-ish million OMI. He's got a lot more than me. And I guess he's looking to stack more because he's the floor at 32 million OMI. So honestly, if they buy it from him, then very small jump, goes to 33.9 million. And then it goes to 45 million, and then he's the floor again. I mean, he's made it almost impossible. You have to spend, what's that, 65, you have to spend $110 million or 110 million OMI in order to sweep the floor. So you need 110 million OMI in order to buy the bottom three. Then it goes to 55 million OMI, then 79, then 300. Like, this is insane. So again, $250,000 just in AF15s. Uncanny X-Men #1. It's got 40 of those too. I don't think those are nearly. I don't even think they're $1,000. Uncanny X-Men. I feel like #1 should be the one that I don't know why. Okay, it's got to be comics, obviously. 170, 160. All right, so this is actually not working well for the search. In Stacker, like this is like when I type in Uncanny X-Men #1, and the first thing that comes up is number 170. Like, that is not good. Stacker, you need to fix that. That is some bull dinky. And the first Uncanny X-Men #1 that it gives me is not like what anyone would be searching for. So that is really okay. Maybe I could just type Uncanny X-Men and then, nope. All right, I'm gonna try to look for this, but it's not giving me a. This is gonna take me a while because the first one that it gave me, okay, now it's giving me a common, uncommon, ultra rare. Yeah, show more comics. Okay, yeah, Stacker really has to fix this because this is annoying. I'll send a note to Dr. Profit or Dr. Collect now. House of X #1. Like, what the heck is going on here? I guess I have to go to VeVe and try to search it and then go, unless it's just not listed. Uncanny X-Men #1. And I think on VeVe, same thing on VeVe. Like that is not the correct Uncanny X-Men. I don't know why they would give us that. And we're gonna have to scroll a while here because for whatever reason, VeVe is being very not good with this. Again, I'm not a dev. I don't know why this is that difficult though, because this just makes me not want to buy anything. I hope they fix that. And again, I can't even find it. I don't think I have any. I could try to look at it. Like I'm not crazy here, right? Like this is that's the title. Right, yeah, 1963. Okay, we're good. Maybe if I just type in X-Men. Okay, well, the X-Men #1, that's completely different though. Okay, so this is where I'm a little, so it says Uncanny X-Men #1 where you look at it, but then it says the X-Men #1 when you go, okay, so maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one that is tripping here. Because it says the X-Men #1. Hold on, what we got here? Zombie thing, yo. Planet Vampire, give me those party hats. Bill Gardner says, what up? It's 8 degrees here, bro. Yeah, the East Coast is crazy cold right now. Zombie saying it's cold. Bill Gardner says, why do I live in Ohio? I don't know. I don't know how Ohio, New York, we're all very chilly. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so the floor on for VeVe on that is $1,000. But on Stacker, if I take a look at it, is $971. And okay, let's do this. 971. How many does he have? He has 40 of these? That's another $38,000 worth of. Oh my God. This dude is insane. All right, Fantastic Four #1. I know that's worth a lot. Secret Rare. Okay, see that pops up first. Like that was so much better. $770 on Stacker. And I know he doesn't have as much of those. Still has 35s. 20, hold on. 26, almost $27,000. What are we at? Like what are we at? $350,000 right now? In just 3 comics? All right, Tales of Suspense 39. Let's do this here. Oh shit, didn't mean that. That one's $1,100. First appearance of Iron Man goes. First appearance of Iron Man is more than Fantastic Four #1. Well, I mean, there's only 250 of those, whereas Fantastic Four #1, there's 600 of them. So I get it. But Mother Flapper's got 26 of those as well. Another, like, he's got another $28,000. Like, so he's got $400,000, $375,000, 380K in just 4 comic secret rares. This dude, I'm sure, is already a multi-millionaire, but if he's not a decamillion, like, he will likely, in my opinion, be a decamillionaire if he's not already. Because again, dude's got more OMI than me. This is insane. He'll have deca millions, at least that deca million, when this pops off. Now this could start popping off in the next couple weeks. Probably not, but it could. I think second half of this year this stuff goes crazy. And if it doesn't, I don't know. If it doesn't pop off by like the end of 2026, I that would be very worrisome. But man, if it does, and I think it will, dude's gonna have multi-millions just in comics, and then OMI, that'll go crazy. Yeah, dude will have deca millions. At well into the 8 figures he'll have. That's insane. And again, this is just 4 comics. I'm not talking about Journey into Mystery 85, MC1, Fantastic Four #49. What else am I looking at? Fantastic Four #5. Like, this dude, oh my gosh. He's probably got over 500,000 in comics, just in that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Ben Korea says summer in Melbourne is very nice. I heard. I'm jelly. Yo, Ben. So there's this. I mean, I wanted to go to Australia for a while. There's this girl that's wanted me to go, and I was gonna go, like, kind of for her, but then other stuff happened, and then it just didn't happen. So we missed our shot. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see. After the crypto bull run, or it doesn't really matter. But ideally, if the crypto bull run happens and alt season happens, yeah, I'd like to go out earlier to Australia. I'd really like to go see the Irwins, and I'd like to go and say, like, hey, how can I help? Or can you guide me on doing what you guys are doing in Australia, but in Madagascar? And then I'll just be able to get to try to do that there. A dinner with them, I don't know, might cost 100 grand, maybe more. Maybe not that much. I mean, if like I say, like, hey, it might. I mean, they're a big family. They're really busy. But especially if it's like a donation, maybe I can get away for like 30. You know, I don't know. Again, they're extremely busy, but I would, as long as it's to further, you know, conservation, I think that's fine. And then again, I don't want to do it though with just like $2 million. I want to go in and have a lot. But even just getting like, even if I don't have that much yet, just going in and be like, hey, here's my starting point. Here's what's projected to come in. Here's what, you know, again, just to get that idea out and move that ball of conservation forward. So that's what I'd like to do in Australia. Maybe Zombie says, yo, Ben. Meow, meow. Gar says, who we looking at? Yeah, Squeebs. Squeebs is an insane whale. And again, he's just one person. You have Dr. Profit that has a bunch of these. Sleepin does a little bit different. He doesn't necessarily go for the secret rares. Sleepin tends to go for the common, like their common counterpart, which, yes, you have to spend a lot more time doing, but they typically do outperform their secret rare counterparts, so I think he's doing it correctly. I don't actually know what Comics and Crypto does as far as collecting these. I assume they have some of these secret rares, if not multiple of them, but I don't know if they do what Sleepin does, and they just try to absorb as much of the comics as they can, or anything like that. I mean, either way is fine. I see the way that both of them do it. Excuse me. Lauren says you don't buy like that unless you're already a multimillionaire. I'm pretty sure he's already multimillionaire. If not Deca by now, and if he's not, he'll be Deca, and if he already is, then you might see him at 100 milli. He might, yeah. So we're talking about Squeebs. And agree says, yo, Zombie and Bill. Omega says, happy Monday, fam. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everyone. Bogarn says, what up, Ben? His painter says, treat the Irwins, family of 30 at Outback Steakhouse. I don't think they would. I mean, they probably would. They seem like a really cool bunch of people. But I don't want to, like, they'll get mobbed at Outback, like, especially like everyone will, or maybe they're not. Maybe it's just like American paparazzi that's always like, oh, you know, taking pictures and stuff. Maybe Australian paparazzi isn't like that. Maybe they're so respected there that, you know, people kind of leave them alone. You know, I don't know. I'd love to party with them, but I take it that they're so responsible, and they probably don't party that. I mean, I hope they let loose once in a while. But you know, they have such a reputation. They, you know, squeaky clean. I'd rather not try to taint that by getting them to go to Chavez parties. But yeah, it honestly, it doesn't matter where we have dinner. I just want to buy some of their time so I could be like, hey, here's the funds that I have. Here's the funds that are coming in. Here's what estimates to happen. Here's my plan. What is the most efficient way to do that? And hopefully they can help. O'Milly shows as Bill, you sold physical black penny for 1,000? Question mark. I keep missing your answer. Bleaves Crypto says, what's up? What's up, Bleaves? How's it going? We have I got your last message, and let me know how you want to play that, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, so that was Mr. Squeebs and Dr. Collect, Sleepin', and Comics and Crypto, all just about comics. And again, these are the grails. Like, this is not like a play where, like, yeah, I'm like King Kabuto in Pokemon, going in trying to do a buyout of like the first edition, you know, like near mint and above Kabuto cards from Jungle, or I'm sorry, Fossil. These are like the holy grails. Like, these are the rookie cards. First appearance Spider-Man, first appearance Fantastic Four, first appearance Doctor Doom, first appearance Thor, first appearance, like, you have, oh god, first appearance Silver Surfer. you have all of these grails that people are, Ultimate Fallout over here for Spear's Miles. That these are things that people would genuinely want for the historical factor, not necessarily for ROI, because you have a fair amount of people out there. And again, everyone has their price, even though some prices are absurd, but everyone has their price. But you have some people that just do it for the love of the game, like just for the love of collecting. And that's a lot of people in my generation that did it, just, gotta catch them all, Pokemon. And there are some people that, like, they should sell at a certain point, but they don't. And it's not because they don't necessarily, they couldn't use the money. It's like, yeah, I probably should, but it's such a piece of historical significance, and they just want it. And the more that you try to bat at them, the more that you try to paw at them and say, like, hey, give me this, the more that they hold on. It's like that Aesop fable. I forget what it's called, but it's the one where the clouds and the sun are like saying, like, I bet you I can get this guy to take his jacket off, and the wind is just like blowing and blowing and blowing and trying to forcefully blow this guy's jacket off. And the more he blows, the tighter he pulls it on. It's like parents that try to squeeze their kids and molding them into what they want them to be. What happens when you do that? They squeeze through your fingers, and it's your own fault. It's your own doing. Whereas the sun, what it did, it is just super nice, super warm day, made just shone as brightly as it could, and it got so warm that the guy just took his jacket off. So you definitely catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And if you try to be aggressive with someone and really try to buy it off of them, it just he'd probably take a lesser price from someone else that's a true fan. So you have to play that game if you want to acquire some of these pieces. Now, obviously, most of these things that are very rare, but they're not necessarily that scarce. And what I mean by that is that it's rare. There's only 250 of some of them, the secret rares, 600 of others, and these are of like the grails. You have some of the modern day stuff. There's only 40 secret rares, so that's not a lot at all. Some of them even 39, depending on how much were taken out. And if you take a look at it, like, okay, well, what does that mean? You said 40 was pretty scarce, but are pretty rare. Why is these not scarce? Because out of all the ones that I mentioned, you're probably always going to see a couple of them out there on the market. I don't think you ever see, at least not for an extended period of time, no AF-15s on the market for weeks, or months. I think there's always going to be some out there. It might be for a ridiculous price, but it's not like you wouldn't be able to find it. You can find it. It might not be for a price that you want. It might not be for a price that you could afford, but it'll still probably be out there. And at that point, it becomes a seller's market. Right now, we're in a buyer's market where there's a lot more sellers than buyers, generally speaking, for the most part. But what'll happen is at some point, you get to be, there's a lot of buyers, and then it's a seller's market. And then they can say, like, okay, you might not like this price. You might have had the chance to buy, let's say, an AF-15 when it was, $3,500, $5K. Well, now it's worth $20K, and I'm the only one willing to sell it for that price. And if you can find a cheaper option, by all means, go out and find it, but there won't be, because the only places you'll be able to find it are either VeVe or anyone that got it from someone that got it on VeVe. Because again, right now it's mostly a closed ecosystem. Obviously, you have Stacker. At some point, you'll be able to go and put it in your MetaMask. You might have some deals going on outside where it's like, okay, we'll sell it for this price, but let's do something OTC. People will kind of be able to get away with that a little bit more when that happens. But aside from that, aside from doing something that maybe probably shouldn't do, the best bet of getting the cheapest option will probably always be on VeVe or Stacker. Anywho, let me keep going here. Let's take a look at how OMI is doing today. I don't think much of crypto did too much. OMI's down 0.5%. 0.001692. It actually was down to 640. We had a little bit of a buy up to 1.7-ish and then a little bit back down. Let's take a look at the Akomi coin market cap, 1.1, almost 1.2 million in volume. So it's still not a lot. And especially when I'm assuming half of it, 33% on DeepCoin, 33% on BingX. Okay. All right, that's not bad. I'm used to DeepCoin being like 51% of it, but that's fine. Let's do any speculation on the token. I think I kind of went through it before when I was talking about Squeebs and how much OMI he has. I don't see too much of a issue with it going up. Am I going to make bets that it goes to a penny before the end of the year? No, at least not any that are significant. If someone wants to do like a couple $100, that's fine. But I'm done kind of betting like 10 and 20 grand. The bet that I have with Jeremy Padawer here, hold on, let me do Miami versus Indiana. All right, Indiana is up by 3. It's up by 3. Okay. Okay. All right, not bad. Not bad. We'll take that. We'll take and that's most of the first quarter. And Miami has the football. So let's go, Miami. Let's get the spread. Oh God, excuse me. So that's OMI. Let's take a look at Definity, which I believe did not have a good day because there was a little bit of sales. Down about 8.5, almost 9% on the day to 1.6 cents. It's about where it was on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. It went up a decent amount. Well, on the 16th and 17th it did. The 18th it started kind of. You thought around here. It's like, okay, well maybe it can consolidate a bit, and then trade, and then go up. And it kind of went up a little bit, and then just like I forget the name of that band in like 2003. Down, 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 down. Most of this, it does seem like it was from all different wallets. $111, $538, $439, $366, $479. Then we had a big one for $12.50, which I could have sworn I've seen that before. Okay, it is because the guy's got DEVVE. I don't know if this person actually 6 hours 14 minutes ago. I'm not going to find that on DEVVE. This person might have just swapped for DEVVE. What did I say? That was 4 hours or 6 hours. Oh no, he did not swap for DEVVE. He just sold, I guess, for ETH. But this guy still has $3,600 worth of DEVVE. There's about 24,000 tokens, and he still has $638 or 39,000 Definity. So it does seem that he has more to sell. I don't know if he necessarily needs. I don't know why he would sell here. It is still pretty low. It's about, I think, 25% higher than what it was, about a week ago. $4,600 in volume. Most of that is sells, obviously. $2.5 million market cap. I'll go over some of the Definity Telegram here because this will be fun to read. Where are we at here? Oh, also, we had a bunch of burns too. We had like tens of thousands of tokens burn over like yesterday into today. I don't know why, but cool. I'll take it. Then we have everyone's favorite troll Wes that had said gonna need bigger burns than that, though, from a company making millions per year. And you have a couple people giving him the clown emoji reaction. And then you have Joshu. Joshu is, what is his title here? He's Ra. I don't know what that. Some type of admin, I guess. Because how many times does it need to be said in here for people to understand the difference between revenue and profit? Wes kind of goes on saying, well, Randy keeps saying the company can sell for a lot, so I mean the EBITDA must be a lot. I say that I've never stated a number as a matter of fact. Only thing I ever went over was Manu's words from last year where he mentioned they were grossing 6 figures per month and that the company will gross 1 million per month at some point this year. Wes says, yes, correct. Joshua says, valuations in the institutional crypto sector are crazy inflated with revenue multiples of more than 50x for some companies. Wes responds, again, that's great for investors of the company, but doesn't help investors of the crypto, which is why I'd like to see some of that revenue burn the token. Joshua face palms and he says, the point I was making is you shouldn't assume there's plenty of spare cash based on valuation alone. And then Wes says, okay, that makes sense. So again, that was fun to read. Let's see what else we got. Echo 712 says, I realize I have a secret rare with only 18 editions, Champions number 22. Let's see. I don't know if okay, let's do Champions. Number 22, Amadeus chose first appearance as Braun. Yeah, it was only 18 in circulation. There was 102 that was burnt. Damn! $7,000 on the floor price, or 45 million OMI. Well, I hope it sells. I hope it sells for you. Get that bread. Hope it sells for you. What else we got here? All right, so that was Definity. We mentioned DEVVE a little bit, so let's talk about that. DEVVE has $13.2 million market cap. It is up 4.5% to 15 cents. So it is actually up a little bit on the day, but it has had a very, very, very rough just existence. A bunch of things tend to take lives of its own, where you have, let me just go over the volume here. 764,000 in volume, over 100% increase from the day before. Let's see where this volume's coming from. 38% from Gate.io, 25% from Biconomy. I don't know who's buying this on Biconomy. I don't think I know anyone that actively uses Biconomy. But 38, hold on, so it's 53, 78, 80. It doesn't look at the volume on HBit. The 7% on Uniswap. But yeah, 38% on Gate.io. That's interesting. I don't know why. I don't know why there's $300,000 in volume there, but that's where it's going. Michelle says, how come Wes doesn't join this chat anymore? He was on the other day. He asked something. I forget what it was. I don't remember. But he made a comment the other. But yeah, typically I don't. He's on the OMI Homie show every now and then. Like, obviously nobody gives him the link to actually come on, but you know, he asks questions there. I don't know how much of his stuff gets answered. I just know I do see that every now and then. Anyway, let us continue. Where was I here? I did see him in the Fias chat recently, so I guess he still watches. Because I've talked about Fias fairly recently, and then suddenly he's in the Fias Telegram chat. So it's like, okay, guess he still watches, but he might be a silent watcher, or he doesn't comment. So that's DEVVE. Would I like to? I'd like to see a bit more. Well, I mean, again, the volume's up 100%. Ideally, what I would like to see is one of my companies raise some funds, get cashed out. Another one of my companies get bought, get cashed out. I make a heck ton of money, and then I just throw, I don't know, $500,000 into crypto, and then I would get so much freaking DEVVE. I'd probably get another. I'd probably get 1 million DEVVE if the price is still down here when the other stuff that I want to happen happens. I'd get 1 million DEVVE. And then if I could do that, great. Wait for it to pump. The odds of that happening, where my stuff sells and another company raises money and get cash out before this moves, probably not very high. I would say 5 to 10%. Maybe more towards 5%. Now it's possible that it moves in the other direction. It keeps going down, and this goes to maybe 10 cents. In which case, I might get 1.5 million DEVVE. But again, I don't know. I think DEVVE's the one. Although Definity, if you were to ask me a month ago, I would have said DEVVE would have probably been the one to move first before anything else. But then Definity's been kind of pumping. Not today, obviously, it's down 9%, but I don't know what happens. I don't know what goes first. Diversified in a bunch of these. Bill Gardner says Wes loves you. A lot of people do. So I'm not surprised. Like Green Day in 1999, Color. It's not Color Me Surprised. What's their lyric? I've been waiting a long time for. Okay, what? Downtown, color me stupid, good luck. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Someone says, Randy, are you a fan of the latest Vader drop? So the latest drop or the latest teaser for the next drop? Because the Samurai one I think was cool, but VeVe posted a thing about it today, but the link that they posted was broken. It went to a thing that said, "Oh, okay, there we go. It's better now." Let's go to editions. The common, 1977. Okay. The rare. Oh, the common's 15 gems. The rare, that's 777. That's 20 gems. The ultra rare, 30 gems is 277. Okay. Okay. So it's only 8 grand on the rare though, or on the ultra rare. I do not. I don't know about this. The rare obviously sells out, and I don't know how much they're keeping from the rare, but again, the rare obviously sells out. Or I'm sorry, the ultra rare obviously sells out. I kind of wish this was a blind box because I believe the blind box would make more money. Now, obviously, you'll have bounties here. The bounties for the 1977 are going to be thousands of dollars for the 1977 common. I kind of like the white marble. I mean, I like all of them. The carbonite, obviously, because that's Jabba the Hutt's thing. You know, obviously Han goes in carbonite. Maybe we get Han in carbonite at some point as well. Darth Vader bust original, classic, all black, chic as always. Got the Star Wars stamp on it down below. It's cool. The white marble, I don't know why, but I like it. Like I can't explain it. I can't put my finger. Maybe it just looks like it was a collectible. Like for me, when I look at this looks like it was a collectible that originally was like the black one, but then it's like got lost to time, and that's the dust on it. Like there's a video on TikTok, and it cuts two different things and it puts them together. The first video that it cut was like a makeup or a perfume commercial that who the heck played Padme? Natalie Portman. That Natalie Portman did. I think it's a perfume commercial. And she says, "You, what would you do for love?" And then it cuts, and then it starts playing Ghost, like, "You go down just like Holy Mary." And then Vader, like, from wherever, like the roof comes down, like superhero landing pose. And you don't really know where this is, but he comes down, uses the force to land so it doesn't like break his non-existent knee that's gone because Obi-Wan chopped it off, I think, a few inches above there. You don't know where he is, but he's got his saber like drawn, and it's like, okay, we fighting? What's going on? Then in the next panel, like the next scene, as it goes around the beam, you see him take, put his saber away, and he starts walking, and he goes up to this tomb, and you see where they had her dressed as Queen Amidala in like the pane glass window, and it looked, it was beautiful. And he uses the force. He wipes the leaves and the brush off of it, and he takes his helmet off so that he can see the tomb through his own eyes. And Yeah, just where Natalie Portman goes on and says, like, what would you do for love? And it's just like Anakin's still in there. Like Anakin is still, despite all of the horrendous shit he had to go through. And I'm not gonna lie, his crash out is kind of valid. like in all of this. Yeah, you don't hear any dialogue. You don't need to hear anything. It's just the eyes, Chico. The eyes say it all. The face says it all, and the regret and the pain and the just fuck. That is such a good video. I think I can play it without the sound, and I don't know. Oh God, that is dark humor. Yeah, I could play it without the sound. I don't know if yeah. What would you do for love? And then suddenly Vader just, okay, it's a different video than the one I saw or the one I was talking about, but he goes in and he brushes all the stuff off there. You see him in his beep boop outfit. He's looking at the pane glass window where it looks like, in the queen's wardrobe. Kneels down. So it's like ultimate sign of respect and just, God damn, bro. Like that. Like, I feel like we've all been there, right? Maybe that's why it gets me more than everyone else because I've been there. But anywho, maybe that's why I like the white marble one. The carbonite, I don't know why that makes sense. Maybe in another universe or in the comics or something that I haven't read that he somehow accidentally gets put in carbonite. In which case, that's cool. I'd love to read a comic like that. How does he get put in there? How does he get out? What goes on? That would be really cool to see. Anyway, so long-winded response, but he said, I like it for sure, but I'm constantly asking if they can reward collectors. Someone has a whole set of Samurai Vaders. Can I ask? So I understand, like, you're asking if they can reward collectors, but is collecting not its own reward? I mean, being the first to get some of this stuff, being here when very, very few people are here. I mean, for some people it's a journey. Some people like it, but I'm just curious, like, what in your ideal scenario, what would you like them to reward the collectors of which you speak? And also, are you included in those collectors that have the Samurai Vader set? What do you think would be fair? A fair and appropriate, I don't want to say gesture, utility for that. And again, like, would you have wanted them to say beforehand, or would you want them to surprise us and say, like, you know what, we didn't tell people to collect the set and we'd give them something, but for the people that did collect it, we're going to give them something. Because I'm sure they've spoken about that before, and how I think Disney really doesn't want to give utility unless they talk about it first. And if they did say, if that rule still stands, why ask the question of, can they reward collectors for something that's already happened, when I think we know that they've already spoken that they won't? But again, I don't know if that original line was superseded by anything else. I'm just curious on your thoughts of, again, in your world, you're CEO, like, hey, again, you take care of the whales, whether you're a casino, whether you're any type of business you own, yeah, take care of the whales. But what you think would be fair, and also balancing that with what you think they can afford to give away that doesn't eat away too much at their margins, because this is not their product. Like, it's their product. Like, they create it, they get the final whatever on pricing, but they can't just make something Vader and give it away and it not cost them anything, because it's not their IP. They have a license to it and they can do relatively whatever they want, but But again, to give something away, especially something that would cost 15 to 30 gems, you know, like, and how many people have the other set? Let's say 70 people out of the last set. Okay, so 70, and let's say that's 20 gems here. So giving away $1,400 in product, it for what they're making, fine. But like, how many times can you ask them to do that? And you know, does that set a precedent of, hey, well, you might have other licenses say like, hey, you did this for Disney, and you know, everyone seemed to like it. Can you do that for us? And it's like, okay, you want me to just? I feel like that might be asking. And again, you could always ask, right? The answer might not always be yes, but I think it's always good to ask. But does that put them in a different position where I feel like if you do it for one, like, you have to do it for everyone? So there's like, if you look on my memberships, there's a reason why I don't. The YouTube comments, I answer everyone. I barely get back. Facebook, I like never look at anymore. Instagram, I almost never look at. TikTok is a shit show. My DMs. X, I occasionally get back to people, and it's not because like I'm lazy. Like, I'm in meetings like all that I'm doing. Like, today was one of the only days that I had where I just where I had a little bit of time to work on the comic, and I had like a good amount of time. Like, okay, no meetings, nothing else is going on. Off day at the gym. Don't need to go crazy on the workout. I just need to eat and drink some water and work on this comic, and I got some done, and that was good. But if you look on my membership there on the tiers, like there's a reason I don't get back to my messages, or like I try and I just fail. And there's a reason why if somebody asks like, hey, can you talk for a little bit? If you do it for one, you got to do it for everyone. And there's a reason why it costs $200 a month to get full brain access, where we have like a video chat, you know, once a month. It's because I don't have, like, that time is very precious. And again, if you do it for one, like if somebody were to ask publicly, like I remember, so I'm going to tell you a story. It's from like 2 years ago. There was somebody that we were just talking, like I met them like in real life. And I was like, oh, you going to New York Comic Con? And they're like, listen, bro, I just can't really afford it. Like I just, you know. And so I gave them the money, and I told them not to ever tell anyone about it. I gave them, I was like, listen, you, like, here's the money for it, but it comes on one condition. And the dude's like, anything. I was like, you cannot tell anyone that I did this, because if you do, then suddenly, oh, Randy's doing this. Hey, Randy, I'm having a hard time. Hey, my sister deserves to go, but she doesn't have the money. And it's like, I'm not fucking doing that. So again, I feel like if you do it for one, you have to do it for everyone. And if VeVe does this for one license, are they going to have that massive push and pull from other licenses? Oh, you did it for Disney, you know, not us. I guess you don't care about us. I guess we're not big enough. I guess we're like, and again, I don't want to have the team, especially David, to like kind of go through that. Now, is it any other license's business of what they're doing? And it's like, okay, yeah, you give us as much content that people like as Disney, then yeah, we'll talk. Now, maybe on the opposite side of that, David could go to the other licenses and say like, yeah, we did it for Disney because they give us all these characters and all this whatever. What other characters do you have that's as popular as Darth Vader? I'll wait. So yeah, maybe on the other end of that, they could go on and use that as a, like, yeah, we did it for Disney because they gave us this, and they gave us X, Y, and Z. What can you honestly give us or afford us? And so that's possible. You could look at it that way. And that might give David more ammo. That might give David more leeway on a couple of things. Again, just talking it out here. And I know Okay, I'm not that far behind on comments. Gardner, you ducking my question. Teaser, bust is dropping. Yeah. Oops on. Yep. Cray Mountain says, Randy, you hold cars on VeVe? I do. I have the full set of Ecto 1s, the DeLoreans. I have others, but the Ecto 1s and DeLoreans, just kind of the OG stuff. And Kiefer says, I have the Samurai Vader set, and I don't have it because I want something for free. I have them because I like them. Starts a dangerous precedent for you to do this, in my opinion. So that is one of the points I brought up. I don't know if O'Malley heard like my 20-something minute explanation. I might have got to him a little too late. So somebody, like, if he ever asks, I don't know, at like the 30-minute mark, maybe I start talking about it. Wouldn't even leave that comment. It's got to be after that. Yeah, maybe like a few minutes after that. Omar, good evening. Enchilada. Actually, VeVe giveaway time. Enchilada. What show is that from? Just the show. Comment the 90s show you think that's from. Where like one of the main characters goes, enchilada. And you win a VeVe giveaway this week if you get it. I don't know if anyone's gonna get it. In fact, probably not, because it was a popular show. It was not from The Simpsons. It is from the 90s. It is a cartoon from the 90s. Somebody said it's a cartoon from the 90s. So somebody says something, and like one of the main characters goes, enchilada. And if you get that, if you comment down below, that'll be this week's VeVe giveaway. Cool. Excuse me. Anyway, let's get to daCat. Oh God, hiccups. You go down just like Holy Mary, Mariana Cross. daCat is down 0.25% on the day. $1.1 million market cap, $331,000 in liquidity, $165,000 each for both Affinity and, or I'm sorry, not Affinity, for both daCat and Ethereum. And we have $170. And oh my God, Jason Pena got it. Thanks for being a member. It was Hey Arnold. Mike Jones, you're so close. It was not Our Real Monsters. Jason Pena got it. It was Hey Arnold. All right, let me go in and give a where are we at here? They might say something about enchilada, but the reference that I was making is when Arnold's teacher he thinks that she invited him over for a date. And then she says something to him like in Spanish. And instead of saying like no hay de qué, meaning like no problem, he goes, enchilada. So that's what I was referencing. I'm sure the Our Real Monster says something like that. Maybe I feel like, who's the dude in like the high heels? I feel like his name was something like an enchilada. But yes, it was definitely Hey Arnold. Let me go to, it's Flexi. Yeah. Okay. Winner of this week's giveaway. Yay! LGT bread. Omar, it's over. Let's get this bread. I love this game. Jason Pena with the, oh my God, with the win. Go get that bread, brother. Go get it. Yep, not hecking around. Lego Batman logo set up for pre-order on Amazon. 80 doll hairs and comes with the 20th anniversary. Golden Batman minifigure. Ooh, guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Della friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Okay, sorry. So that's daCat. Again, I was able to go in and do a little bit editing on it today. Got a meeting with the artist tomorrow. I had a busy day tomorrow. I'm from something in the morning. Then I got the meeting with the artist at 3, and then I have the new money. I don't even know their new money crypto. New money crypto has a thing with Joe on Chain on Discord every Tuesday. And tomorrow I'm going on their Discord at about 4:30. They're doing a 15-minute pitch on business. So I don't know what now I'm used to like the 4-minute pitches. I think I pitched daCat yesterday in like 1 minute on a space. It was great. And this is one where the 15-minute pitches, there's a bunch of founders. Oh my God, you know the actual episode 14, season 2, Crush on Teacher. Yeah, the teacher invites Arnold over. He thinks it's a date. Because she does invite Arnold on a date, but it's this guy named Arnold Skelter. And he's like this Spanish dude, suave. And Arnold's a little disappointed because he has a crush on the teacher. You know, like we've all had teachers. Not really anyone although there was this one teacher in like 3rd grade, like she was cute. Like she was but I didn't really have any hot teachers until like maybe 7th grade. Oh no, 6th grade. There was this one substitute. Honestly, both like there was a substitute teacher that we had in 6th grade social studies. For the main teacher, we didn't know who she was because she was out pregnant or she was out having a baby, whatever. And then, but the substitute was like, oh my God, she was great. And then the actual teacher came in, and I was like, oh, she was cute. In middle school, there was a lot of hot teachers. There was oh my God. It's just like a bunch of 20-something-year-olds like started teaching because like in middle, like in elementary school for me, all like the teachers looked like freaking like they looked manly. They looked like, you know, except for that one teacher I had in like 3rd grade. But everyone else was like, you know, but then, okay, so it was Miss Felter, and was it Arnold Felter or Arnold Skelter that she invited over? Anyway, yeah, the middle school there was just like, oh God, there's a bunch of hot teachers. That was insane. And then in high school there was a couple, you know, but not like, I don't know why. Maybe just middle school is just hormone city. And I think, yeah, I think because high school actually had multiple girlfriends. I guess I still did in middle school, but it wasn't the same, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Just some of the teachers that were in my middle school, like they were women, you know. Not that the ones in high school were, but it was just different. Anyway, let's continue on, shall we? So yeah, I don't know what business I'm gonna pitch tomorrow. Because it's generally for CEO, so it's like, okay, the only one I'm really head of is really daCat. Now I could go in as a affiliate of VeVe. I can go in as an affiliate of DEVVE, or I guess partial co-owner in Definity's DMA link in Bloomsbury. I don't know how many people would be able to kind of recognize what Definity is. Yeah, it was Arnold Skelter. I knew it. Mm-hmm. 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 Arnold Skelter dating Miss Felter. He felt her. Sorry. Yeah. So that was so the pitch. Oh shoot. So the pitch tomorrow, that's what I'm thinking of. Because I mean, when you talk about daCat, you could be like, okay, well, we have this institutional investor. We also are going to be on VeVe. So I think daCat, I can kind of get everything on there. It does make it harder to talk about DEVVE though, because it's like, well, you know, we could get on the dev exchange, like if we're going to talk about an exchange to get on, but it's just we don't have the volume to get on there. Now maybe Tom does me a favor and he's just like, you know what, Randy, we'll put daCat on there. I don't know how we go. I don't know how we go about doing that because the contracts for our liquidity pool in Uniswap, they're locked for 997 years. So we wouldn't be able to put that much in. Like, you'd need, like, I don't know, $100,000, $50K in ETH or $50K in whatever, daCat to put on there. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. Anyway, I want to go over fiats real quick, and then we'll get to the news. Fiat's down 9% on the day to $1.8 million market cap, $6,500 in volume. Meh. We'll get more good days out of it at some point. We don't know when. Do I have any articles to read? Okay, yeah, I do. We have a couple of articles to read. But first, Indiana winning by 10 so far. All right. You know what, Jeremy? You know what, Mr. Padower? And Indians got probably gonna win. He was right. Now, granted, there's still a whole lot of football left to play, but not looking so hot. I mean, Sam definitely likes to eat. Sam's a big eater. I don't know about Cat. I feel like Cat doesn't like to eat that much. Bugs Little Cat Slang 69 says, "Make this sound like a girl is saying this. Hi, Randy. I see on X was always showing clips of you. Is that your second channel? Why is it constantly talking about you?" People are fans in different ways. I've actually been sent some of his stuff before. There's actually a girl that I was dating that was just like, "I'm gonna subscribe to Wes so I can keep tabs on it." I was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, apparently he takes clips of me and just posts them there. Wes is his own person. I have nothing to do with what he posts. I have nothing to do with I have pretty much zero interactions with him. I think he's just a fan. I don't know. No, he might not be. He might just use it for engagement farming, which, again, I don't see any investor worth their salt investing in anything that he tries to monetize, like his X account, because, again, any engagement that he has is probably, again, just if he's just clipping my stuff. I assume he posts other stuff. I don't know what else it is, but I don't know. Maybe it makes him feel relevant. Maybe it's, does X have the thing like Facebook where you can go on your timeline and look at your memories? I don't know. There was a fake Randy Chavez account at one point. Like, it was just called the fake Randy Chavez. Like, all right. Or it's called fake Randy Chavez. The one that was, again, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Anyway, what I wanted to go on. Oh, Miami's got the ball now. Go Miami. Come on, score. Minnesota. Don't need that. Okay, let's go with Gizmodo. Now, why are we talking about Gizmodo? The disclosure of aliens could cause a Bitcoin rush, former Bank of England analyst says. I repeat, the disclosure of aliens could cause a Bitcoin rush, former Bank of England analyst says. Now, this is not from like years ago. This is from yesterday, January 18, 2026. She warned of extreme price volatility in finance markets due to catastrophizing or euphoria and a collapse in confidence. This is written by Kyle Torpy. According to the Sunday Times, a former analyst of the Bank of England, aka BOE, which is the central bank of the United Kingdom, has written to the bank's governor, Andrew Bailey, regarding the need to prepare for the potential disclosure of alien life by the Trump administration in the United States. Former Bank of England analyst Helen McCaw previously worked in financial security at the bank and helped develop plans for theoretical economic crisis, such as the one she now sees as a possibility in a full disclosure scenario. According to prediction market Polymarket, the potential for alien disclosure is not as far-fetched as previously thought, with odds currently sitting at about 12% for such a revelation before 2027, albeit on low trading volume. All right, we're going to go to Polymarket and see these odds. Will the U.S. confirm that aliens exist before 2027? It's actually lower now. It's actually 11% chance. But there's almost $1 million. It's $915 in volume. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. The U.S. confirmed that aliens, 11% chance. So it's not a super high percent chance. And they kind of already did when Nancy Mace, I think she asked Congress in like 2024. Yeah, it wasn't 2025, it was definitely 2024. Anyway, there's been an increasing number of credible high-level government officials speaking about the UFO, now referred to as UAPs or unmanned aerial phenomena, over the past few years, culminating in appearances by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, and many others in the associated documentary, The Age of Disclosure. I do want to see that. I've seen the trailer. Apparently, it's on Amazon Prime. I definitely want to watch. The director of the documentary, Dan Farah, has shared his belief that it's only a matter of time until a sitting U.S. president makes such a disclosure. Disclosure could cause widespread cases of ontological shock among the general public, which is why McCaw sees the need to make economic preparations in advance. Notably, it is claimed in the Age of Disclosure that former U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin once received a briefing on the topic of extraterrestrials due to similar concern. There might be extreme price volatility in financial markets due to catastrophizing or euphoria, and a collapse in confidence if market participants feel uncertain on how to price assets using any of the familiar methods. McCall reportedly wrote in her letter, if there is an official announcement and we get presented with very clear evidence that nobody's going to dispute, I would say that in a matter of hours, you're going to have total financial instability. McCall also outlined a few different potential scenarios that could occur if disclosures of alien life does indeed take place. One of those scenarios included a flight to Bitcoin as a safe haven asset due to the potential destruction of trust in traditional governmental power structures. There might be a rush of digital currencies such as Bitcoin, which may prove appealing if people question the legitimacy of government and lose trust in government-backed assets, wrote McCall. Former Bank of England analysts also shared two differing theories on what could happen with a traditional analog alternative to Bitcoin, which is gold. On the one hand, McCall saw the potential for the precious metal to enjoy a similar experience to Bitcoin as a source of financial safety and security. But on the other hand, there's potential for fear to enter the gold market due to the potential for new spacefaring technologies to massively increase the supply of precious metals via new mining projects. This point about gold eventually facing a large devaluation due to space-based mining projects is one that is brought up in debates by Bitcoin proponents somewhat often. Same here. For example, there was a key point made by the Winklevoss twins when they tried to make the case for Bitcoin to Barstool Sports founder David Portnoy in a somewhat infamous discussion a few years ago. While mining in space is currently thought to be uneconomical, NASA did launch a research mission to a metal-rich asteroid in 2023. This is something that I've said Elon Musk could do very, very easily. Bitcoin's difficulty adjustment algorithm, or DAA, where the difficulty associated with mining Bitcoin is increased where more computing power is pointed at the network, prevents a similar massive increase in supply occurring with the crypto asset. In terms of changes to Bitcoin's monetary policy, social attack vectors are likely the bigger issue, where users are convinced to simply opt into a new, alternative crypto network, where the 21 million Bitcoin cap has been removed. Quantum computers may also eventually pose a threat to Bitcoin. However, developers are already working on improvement proposals that could be implemented if necessary. So I really like that. January 19th, we had 1.3 million OMI burn. Very good, very good. Abby's OMI. Love that man. He's great. What is virtual collect? Master game. I have no idea, but it was made a day ago and it has 3 views, so I don't care. What I'm going to ask everyone here to do, ask them to smash that like button. That's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. Smash the super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Love y'all. Hey, hey, there's nothing else I can say. The fake Randy Chavez. Yeah. I don't know if it's still out there. It is still out there. Fake Randy Chavez. I made this just to keep up with After Earth tweets. They haven't posted in like 5 years. I wrote a haiku for my local poetry slam tomorrow. Thoughts? Elon's hands were warm as they nestled upon my own. Oh my God. His energy radiated through me, calming my tension as we laid still. And as the ocean waves swept us in, we welcomed the swell as we morphed into the shape of water. What the hell? Oh my God. That is wild. Yeah, I early Pidgeot gets the Caterpie. What did you do today to make yourself great? Um, this is bananas. Hats off to whoever did this and then left it alone after 5 years. Good times. Good times. Anyway, so that's one article. The other article comes more recently, a couple hours ago, from Yahoo Finance saying aliens confirmed. Ex-Bank of England insider ties Bitcoin to cosmic theory. First, markets were talking about quantum computing, and then one of Wall Street's top strategists stopped trusting Bitcoin. Now, a new argument is emerging that even aliens could trigger chaos in financial markets, and Bitcoin may be caught in the middle. Helen McCaw, former senior analyst at Bank of England, is warning that official confirmation of extraterrestrial life could trigger financial chaos, unlike anything modern markets have seen, hitherto undreamt of. In her view, Bitcoin may emerge as a last resort refuge, even as traditional institutions crumble. McCaw, who worked on financial stability and risk at the BOE until 2012, wrote directly to Governor Andrew Bailey. She urged the central bank to stress test for the unthinkable, verified intelligence behind the UAPs. She predicts an ontological shock, meaning a psychological upheaval that could undermine collective confidence in reality itself. According to the Times, such revelation could unleash extreme market volatility, bank runs, payment system failures, and even civil unrest potentially within hours. It's like not Anthony. It's like Howard Stark getting shown the Hydra weapons. Like, with these, they could wipe through the entire eastern seaboard in an hour. Like, heck. Her concerns are rooted in ongoing U.S. declassification efforts, including Pentagon briefings and the UAP Transparency Act. Notably, several senior American officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, and James Clapper, former Director of National Intelligence, have recently indicated their belief in the possibility of intelligent non-human life. Beef Eater says Trump will make the most important announcement in Earth's history and confirm contact with aliens, Director Mark Christopher Lee revealed. Washington insiders told the director that the U.S. president has already written a triumphant speech for the World Cup, where he will, oh my God. Amun Sarah says, have you watched or heard of the documentary called The Age of Disclosure? Lots of U.S. officials give evidence, even Marco Rubio, and it was released last year. Listen, I know a few high-level people in Washington, and I asked one day after we had a couple steaks, a couple whiskeys. I was like, hey, I gotta know. And you can check my security clearance. He knew though. And I was like, are there aliens? And he knew I would never say anything if he were to actually give me an answer. And he said, now if he would have just said, I believe so, I don't have the proof, but I believe there could be. I would have never said, yeah, I would have never told anyone, right? Like, I mean, that part is whatever. Like, if he would have actually told me yes, I would just never bring this up. Like, he didn't say that, right? But instead of just shooting the shit back and forth like we were, he said, well, we both know that he likes to talk, right? Yeah. Like, well, logically, like if there were aliens, like, he probably would have revealed it, right? And it's just the way he just went from just like back and forth, not super serious, but we're just talking about stuff, to just the complete tone shift of just like, well, and almost acting as if like I was a kid. It's like, I think that was his way of telling me there is, without actually telling me. Even though that veteran bond goes deep, I think that's, yeah, and I understand. Anyway, moving on. Bitcoin poised as a hedge amid cosmic uncertainty. McCaw anticipates a rush to perceived safe havens. Traditional gold could falter if alien technology suggests a future of abundant space-minded precious metals. Bitcoin, by contrast, is decentralized and independent of government control, potentially making it attractive to investors questioning the legitimacy of fiat currencies. Prediction markets, we saw that. Crypto community is abuzz with X users amplifying McCaw's warning as a unique bullish case for Bitcoin. Your friend's mommy says, juicy news, Bitcoin 95K, ETH 3300. Bank of England releases articles saying prepare for alien disclosure. We mentioned that stocks could go down or up, and that precious metals and Bitcoin potentially having big swings. Actually, there was a big, what do I type in? It should give me, from Douglas McGregor, who is a U.S. Army colonel, retired, is a combat veteran, Secretary Defense Advisor, author, consultant, military TV analyst, and chairman of the advisory board of Our Country, OurChoice.com. Says, and this got 5 million impressions. Breaking, Bank of England told to prepare for a market crash if the United States announces alien life. Ellen McCaw served as senior analyst in financial security at the UK central bank, sounded the alarm. She has now written to Andrew Bailey, the bank's governor, urging him to organize contingencies for the possibility that the White House may confirm we are not alone in the universe, which again, I feel like they already have, but you know, business is business. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. So yeah, just reporting the news here. Now let's do this Saturday. Do I have Saturdays? Okay, yes. We've got European Union to suspend trade deal with the U.S. following President Trump's tariff threats, Bloomberg reports. We have legend_E saying, I bought $100,000 worth of physical pennies. No, that's not a typo. That's 10 million coins, 66,000 pounds of mostly copper stacked in boxes. Most people would call it insane, but let me explain the thesis. Each pre-1982 U.S. penny is 95% copper, plus 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. So 100,000 face value is roughly 66,000 pounds of real industrial metal. At the current copper spot, $5.85 to $6 a pound, the melt value of pre-1982 copper penny is sitting around 4 times the face value, or 4 cents a coin, way above the 1 cent stamp. Meanwhile, zinc fakes post-1982 melt under half a cent, and the mint cost melt under half a cent, and the mint cost was around 3.7 cents each. The government was losing tens of millions yearly. That's why they finally stopped minting them since November 2025. Production dead, no more supply ever, just like Bitcoin. So what happens now? The old real copper pennies become the final government-issued coins with serious industrial copper content. Just like the 90% silver coins got melted out after 1964, holders of the silver bags watched 10 to 20x nominal gains over the decades as melt value beat inflation. My 100,000 position in pre-1982 pennies, therefore, isn't a trade, it's free money. It's a discounted long on copper, and I'm getting copper for a 75% discount. Yeah, not bad. Worst case, I still have $100,000 in legal money, spendable at 1 cent forever, backed by the full faith and credit of the United States. Best case, melt goes 5x, 10x, or even 20x over time as copper price keeps going up. It's not crypto, it's not stocks, it's not even silver. It's 10 million tiny claims on an industrial metal the government accidentally turned into a cheap copper time capsule, then stopped minting entirely. That's free money. That's the copper penny standard. Yeah, not bad. Red Cinema reports that a Kentucky woman claims that Kanye West telepathically told her to steal a car with a child inside, leading to her arrest. And yet people say, I actually believe he did this, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of believe it too. I feel like the dude's weird enough where he might be, I don't know. Bruno Mars is set to perform on the Roblox games Steal a Brain Rot. That was actually yesterday that he did that. I meant to watch it. I did not. All right, speaking of watching stuff, all right, let's do the Miami versus Indiana game. And Indiana is winning 10-0 at halftime. Miami could not even score once before, like, not you kidding, Miami? I guess Indiana's like 15-0. But Miami, where the heck is your offense? The heck is your offense, Miami? heck is going on? I don't want to say it's supposed to be professionals because, you know, they're college, but still. Can't just like muscle it through. Pipeline explosion in Minnesota leaves many without natural gas. Odd timing. Week 19 leaderboard rewards with 7.86 million points earned. Week 19 saw over 1,500 transactions made on the Stacker Marketplace. With 974,000 points, please congratulate Blah as our Week 19 champion, Seesaw as the number 2, and Mr. Rolex as number 3. Mr. Rolex is actually coming on the... Oh, shoot. Oh, no, we're good. Mr. Rolex coming on the podcast on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. OMI Homie show tomorrow. Normal podcast on a normal show on Wednesday. A bunch of meetings next few days, and then Rolex coming on the podcast on Thursday. So that's for this week, the podcast stuff. American fentanyl deaths collapse after years of explosion. After more than a decade of nonstop increases, monthly fentanyl deaths are now plunging. At the peak, over 6,000 Americans were dying every month. Now the numbers have dropped to around 2,700. That didn't happen by accident. Border enforcement tightened, drug seizures surged, pressures on cartels increased. Trump warned this would happen years ago, and the data is clear. Source and wokeness. Fentanyl deaths going way down. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Shout out to Rising Star Larry for getting the Queen G22 and on the podcast on her love for TMNT never stopped. Full interview coming on Friday on the Chillin' and Vibin' podcast. She has 6,900 followers over on X. I want to comment nice down below for the 69. The Queen G22 over on X. That is her name. Oh, that's a good one too. Sorry, I had to screenshot something. Shout out to Ruby Tiger 3041 for getting a Secret Rare Miles Morales. Love that. Moldova to legalize Bitcoin and crypto trade in 2026. Paradigm is leading a $7.1 million seed funding round for Noise as it gears up for its mainnet launch. I have to go over this too, but not today. Meow, 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 meow. $4.8 trillion Bank of America says the Fed and Trump will add $600 billion in fresh QE liquidity this year. I believe that's massive. Okay. Global liquidity keeps on hitting new highs. Whenever this happens in the past, ETH and Bitcoin has exploded higher. This is coming from Ash Crypto Real. There are over $18 billion in longs that would be liquidated if Bitcoin hits 77,000. I don't think that happens right away, but who knows? Andrew Forte says NFT market cap is $3 billion, increasing by $800 million over the last 30 days. Am I Creed in 2000? Because can you take me higher? Down to a place. Breaking. Fed will inject $55 billion into the markets over the next 3 weeks, starting on tomorrow. That's not QE. That's not rate cuts. That's direct liquidity. 55 billion flooding into risk assets in 21 days, and you're still wondering if it's too late to buy crypto. This is by Gordon Gecko, 843,000 followers over on X. Banks currently working on ideas. Crypto banks and policy alignment is heating up. January 30th, $8.27 billion worth of Bitcoin options will expire, making it the largest expiry event of 2026. Expect to see volatility on that day. Binance founder CZ just said that Bitcoin is going to $1 million this cycle. My Super Mario in 1996, because here we go. Very good. Very good. This dude, Sailing Songbird, spent like a month sailing across the Pacific Ocean without a GPS, and nobody's heard from him from days. I fear the worst. Implant. Oh, right. Okay. Metatron. Okay. Grass. White House posted this on X. White House saying the best is yet to come. S&P 37 S&P 500 record highs and 18 Dow Jones record highs. Okay. Very good, very good. People were asking about their if you talk to ChatGPT, you're supposed to say, can you create an image showing how I treat you and write down an explanation for it, please? And my ChatGPT feels very comfortable with me. Love it. In 2015, Barack Obama awarded Tom Homan the Presidential Award for Service for making America safer at ICE. 10 years later, a lot of the same people on the left want Tom Homan killed. It's the same Tom, but just a little bit of a different party there. Thought that was wild, right? 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 Top Republicans have warned that Trump that if he invades Greenland, it would end his presidency. House Democrats only need 5 more votes to impeach Trump before March 31st. A lot of infighting everywhere. Maya Nick says, hey, Grok, please remove the picture of who will be removed from power before the end of January 2026. And it removed Ayatollah. Yeah. My Collectible is posting about Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Comes out May 22nd. Directed by Jon Favreau. New era of Star Wars has begun. Are you excited? I'd make the argument this began years ago when the show came out, but you know what? Grogu in the movies. Can't wait. Looks really good. I heard about this movie called Drop Bear, where a group of U.S. tourists unknowingly on a scam Aussie tour face a brutal fight for survival against rabid, rage-fueled killer koalas. I want to watch that movie. It's probably terrible, but I still want to watch it. That 2.5 million ETH is waiting to be staked. 0 ETH is waiting to be unstaked. Massive stuff. Some people were having issues getting into the VeVe-verse. Apparently, you had to reinstall and restart multiple times to get that. That is redonkulous. Apparently, it works, though. Dev ecosystem. Give me 1 sec. Hey, can you call back a little bit? Okay, awesome. Yeah. What do we have here? Security should age gracefully. This is from Dev ecosystem. Long-term capital demands security that evolves. Dev's upgraded keys strengthen accounts without migrations or new addresses. Cryptography moves. Security should move with it. Security that evolves. Dev ecosystem. Kajirovka. Okay. Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. Want to take a ride? Disco stick. Oh my God, there's so many. Yesterday, over $500 million of the crypto longs were liquidated in 60 minutes. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent blasts Fed for losing $100 billion a year with no accountability. End the Fed, please. Aster strategic buyback. Reserve deploys Aster token repurchases, allocating 20 to 40% of daily platform fees. China's GDP grows 5% in 2025, despite the trade war with the U.S. Might be because of gold, I don't know. Mr. MC1 has 1,073 Marvel Comics, combination of 119 rare, 569 common, 300 uncommon, 78 ultra rare. I think that leaves 7 secret rare. The odds of Elon Musk buying Ryanair and replacing the CEO with someone named Ryan are on the rise. Sean Ryan says, I'm running enough companies right now, but heck it, what's one more? It's insane. Artemis. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, has a thing called Boarding Pass Artemis 2, OMI to the moon. I don't know how they made this look so official. It looks cool. We got here. Silver was up to $94 yesterday. So this is one of my favorite artworks ever that someone did for me. Looks great. Yep. Elon might be buying Ryanair. EU says to Trump, please no more tariffs. Let's talk Greenland. European leaders are backing off talk of trade retaliation and leaning toward negotiations after Trump threatened tariffs tied to Greenland. Even after Trump floated tariffs on Denmark and other countries like Germany and France, the EU is trying to keep things calm and avoid blowing up NATO relations. They do have a $107 billion retaliation list if the talks fall apart, but for now they're choosing diplomacy over escalation. Dyatlov75 says, EU leaders, led by European Council President Antonio Costa and Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, are attempting to de-escalate by offering Trump everything but territory. The pitch is that Europe is offering to establish a permanent NATO mission called Arctic Sentry, similar to the Baltic mission, and granting the US virtually unlimited rights to build bases and extract minerals, provided Greenland remains under the Danish crown. The goal is that they want to frame Greenland as a joint security asset rather than a purchase. This is intended to satisfy Trump's national security concerns without violating international law. It's wild. A lot of long liquidations. BlackRock has now over $14 trillion worth of assets under management. That's insane. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I got to bounce. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you. Good, yeah, I'm feeling all right. I'm going to have a bad